Hello, my name is Ethan, and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile Ultimatum League 3.14. In this episode, I'm going to be going over this build and giving you guys a guide on what my SSF hardcore character is for new players coming to my build and interested in it and wanting to make their own. I wanted to go over the build as this is a solid spot where you could copy the build, and it's Awakener 7 viable. I've done all this progress, and I'm really happy with where I'm at with it, because 154 bonus objectives, 129 Awakening bonus objectives. I have Awakener 8 unlocked. I've done Awakener 7, tank the triple beam. I've done Conquerors. I've done some 10 ways. I'm very happy. So, what is this build? I use it in two ways. So first way is Val Summon Skeletons. So you can summon skeletons, and then you get, and these do 288 with melee splash or 400,000 per with Ruthless instead. So for bosses, I swap in Ruthless for melee splash. But for everything else, especially Blight, especially Blight and mapping, you really want melee splash, the clear difference. I also use it with the passive on the skill tree, Fearsome Force, for the extra area of effect. That's my Skelly, and then I can swap in the zombie instead of the Skelly with multi-strike. So I'll show you. Zombie, swap the Skelly to the helmet, and I put multi-strike instead of melee splash, and they're doing about 300,000 per, and I have 8 of them. I'll have 8 of them. So it's like 2.4 million with zombies. It's not that bad. It's pretty good, and that's with multi. And that's when I want to do like heist or delving or something where I don't want to constantly be respawning skeletons. Maybe even ultimatum potentially, so I can run around and not have to spawn my skellies. And now let's get into the build. So we use 3 Spectres. This is 2 Carnage chieftains, 1 host chieftain. We use a Chaos Golem for the physical damage reduction because it's our weakest stat in the build. We have decent life regen. The Carrion Golem doesn't add that much damage, whereas this physical damage reduction is quite a bit. And I run Skitterbots, Pride, and then the Divergent Dread Banner with the extra 5% chance to impale, which I link this with an enhanced 4, so it has 24% more quality, so it actually gives 11% chance to impale, and then I link it with generosity support. So in my build, with just Anomalous Impale and this Divergent Dread Banner with enhanced 4, the Jinx, Juju increased effect of auras, and Soul Venerities increased effect of auras, these two, 16%. With all of that, I have 100% impale without going any cluster jewels. So it's not that I don't have the clusters. I didn't want to go clusters. So I actually have a clusterless summoner SSF hardcore viable build. And I have the clusters. I don't really need them. I'll go over upgrades that you can make at the end to the stuff that I have, but now I will go through the rest of the gems. I'm going to leave this with skellies in the chestplate with the melee splash as the preferred method. But when you do swap to zombies, you don't need the mana pot, so you can switch to a life flask instead. And if you don't need the bone offering for tankiness, you could use flesh offering instead. And it will affect you, and it goes fast. So now I'll go through the gems. In my wand, I use Desecrate, Divergent Bone Offering, and Skitterbots. I use Desecrate, Bone Offering in this order. First Desecrate, then Bone Offering. With on the wand, I have a craft. Trigger a socketed spell when you use a skill with an 8-second cooldown. This is Unveil from June. So this master, you can get gear by killing the people, and then a weapon, like a wand, one-handed weapon, two-handed weapon, can unveil this mod, and then you can craft it on this item as a suffix. So then it'll trigger the things in the wand. And then for this, I crafted this with minion essence, and I got minion damage, hybrid, and attack speed. I was really lucky. I'd obviously like +2 instead, +2, +1 to all minion skill gems, +1 to all spell skill gems. I have a video on how to make it. Then the helmet, I have zombie, life tap, raise spectre, and divergent feeding frenzy. So I'm pretty sure you can also use arrogance. It's the same thing because life tap doesn't do anything. So Arrogance is the same thing. It makes supported skills cost life instead of mana. It's the same shit. It's just that so the Spectre spams its abilities and doesn't have mana problems because it has life regen but no mana regen, or very low mana regen. Then we have Divergent Feeding Frenzy, so that these can be aggressive, and then they give the Feeding Frenzy buff, which is like 10% more damage, more attack speed. In the shield, I use a cast when damage taken with level 1. Very important. Keep it level 1, so it only requires level 38 gems or lower. Then to keep this at 38, it has to be level 3 for Immortal Call. I use Anomolous Immortal Call for cooldown recovery rate, and then Enfeeble with the increased effect of Curse. Level 5 to be under 38. In the boot, Shield Charge linked to Fortify. Then I went Maim, so I can Maim with the Shield Charge, and then the Chaos Golem with its basic attacks should also Maim. The Chaos Spike and the Chaos Aura should not apply Maim, so it's kind of weird, but yeah, that's what I did. And the glove, Convocation with Divergent Dread Banner linked to Generosity with an Enhanced 4. So the Enhanced 4 gives quality to the skill gems. So like I showed, 44 quality on this Divergent Dread Banner. And Convocation, well, it actually reduces the cooldown. It increases the skill effect. So yeah, you can spam this more often. 2 seconds. And it's nice when you're zombies because you're actually a Convocation build when you're playing zombies. So it's really nice to have that extra quality. It feels good. And then in the ring, Flame Dash, I should fix that where it's a 2020. And then Pride 2020. So those are the gems. Oh, the 6th link, just in case. I already went over it, but Velsummon Skeletons with Brutality, Divergent Melee Phys, Anomalous Impale. I'd go the special Brutality too, if I could, or like Awaken gems, obviously, but I'm in SSF Hardcore. And Anomalous Impale, Melee Splash can be replaced with Ruthless for bossing, single target, and Anomalous Minion Damage. Pog has a chance to deal double damage. Those are all my gems. And then, because, yeah, a lot of people have been asking, and I wanted to give another update video, basically. And not just an update video, because an update video requires the person to watch the previous video. And that's kind of a lot to expect of people that are new, because then they don't know which video to go and watch. And so I'd rather just go over all of it really simply. So the wand, like I said, Minion Essence. So you use like an Essence of Fear. I used the Screaming Essence of Fear, and I hit Minion Damage Hybrid and Minion Attack Speed. This took like 100 tries. I was going for +1, which is like 400 tries. The helmet I crafted with Pristine Fossil. I got Life, T1, T2 Socketed Gems are supported by level 18 Minion Life. This is what I was looking for, so that the Zombie and the Spectre have Minion Life support without going the gem. It saves me a socket. I wanted level 20, but you can't always get what you want. And then I got 15 Chaos, which is really good. And then I crafted Avoid Ailments. So I made a video already how to get Ailment immune. But if you craft 25 Avoid Ailment on the helmet, 25 Avoid Ailment on the glove, which are both suffixes, craft 30% Avoid Ailment on the chest plate, which is a prefix, and then you anoint Arcane Swiftness, which gives 20% chance to avoid elemental ailments while holding a shield, and 20% chance to avoid being stunned while holding a shield, and the 3% block attack damage while holding a shield. That gets you to 100% elemental ailment immune. So that's what I've done here, and this is very powerful. My big death, Lighthouse Phoenix Go Boom, was Ignite. I would have survived the one shot. I would have survived, but the Ignite killed me. So this has been nice to have ever since. Delirium feels way better. I could probably do Simulacrum and not die or make it pretty far into it because of the elemental ailment immune. It's huge. Then for the chest plate, I crafted it with Essences of Greed, Screaming Essences of Greed, so you get 90. And then I hit crazy amount of res, and I crafted the open prefix. Shield, I'm using Lionized Remorse. This is a pretty nice shield. It's a lot of life and armor and block, and it's really cool and defensive and hardcore viable. In reality, you could use a shield like this. Okay, like this, but on Shaper, okay? So life on block, recover life on block. And then you could also get like max cold res, max all res. These are very good on Shaper, though. Go Shaper instead of Warlord because of the max cold res and the max all res. It's slightly better than Warlord, where you can get fire res. I like the cold because it turns out that the heist monster is cold. The one that fucks you up in heist is cold. The shit in delve is a lot of cold. Uber Elder, cold, Shaper, cold, a lot of cold. It's kind of nice. That's the spot where I want to get extra cold res is what I've decided. But obviously we're only using a Lionized Remorse right now. I use a Jinx Juju because it makes 10% of the damage from hits take from my Spectre's life before me, which is like, so if I have 7,800 life, that's a lot of life. Damn. And then the increased effect of auras and increased effect of curse, so this helps our Enfeeble, gets us fat chaos stress, some good attributes. It's mostly used for the aura effect and the damage taken from your Spectres before you. I will probably replace it eventually, but it'll take like an Awakener Orbami, literally. Then rings, 2 unset rings, and I anoint them with Scout Towers have increased range, which is a violet and teal oil for Blight. I like this the best because it gives your Scout Towers the same range or more than a Meteor Tower. This is 70 life, 23 cold res, 40 lightning with a minimum endurance charge, and I did this one life and cold res. I just crafted these with the garden, like chaos spamming, basically with like life crafts or cold, whatever, until you get high life and open suffix with reses. Then the boot, life 70, 30 move speed, crafted suffix, 34 lightning, sick boot, pretty good armor. 69 life on the belt, nice. 44 fire, 25 chaos, open suffix craft. And then the glove, 47 dex, 79 life, 30 chaos. And then the avoid ailment suffix. So that was just a chaos craft in harvest. I'm trying to create a new one where I want to get maybe multi, so I could multi the, like, imagine no dex on this, and then I can multi minion damage and the avoid ailments, 20 minion damage, or because it's a redeemer glove, I can just hit the T1 minion damage if I get really lucky. Just get lucky, easy. Yeah. And then I think that's all the items, right? So Ghastly Jewels now. Okay, so we have, this one's important. So for this build, I did a different skill tree. It's very important. So it's life, minion res, and minion chaos res. So why this is important is on my tree, I've taken sacrifice, and in Dom army, in the beginning, I start with grave intentions. It's extra elemental res and chaos res for the minions. I don't take this node. So basically, my point is 10 elemental res, 15, 33, so total 33. You're missing 2, so here's the extra 2 minion ele res on this jewel. It didn't have to be 10, it can be 2 with this setup. If you have this, you don't need this one, and if you add it up, 10, 15 is 25, plus the 8 and 10, so 18, it's 43. So you have more, you're good. And where the minion chaos res, because you don't take this, you're missing 8, 18, 38 chaos res, so I try to get some back, so I got 11 chaos res here. It's nice, it helps a lot. I still, when I go fight hezmin, I take this node out, and I take 5 points out of life, and I put 6 points into grave intentions, and then my minions survive. That's a secret tech that will help you a lot. I also like it for Cyrus, because Cyrus does chaos damage, and this helps a lot. It also gives the extra energy shield. It also gives the extra life. It's pretty good. Yeah, so I needed to mention that extra thing. If you don't have a jewel with the minion ele res, then you're missing 2 with this setup. And it's missing a lot of chaos then, because the minions, the zombies, only have 20 chaos. So now they're at 31. That's the example. That's a big difference, right? So then I went for, this is pretty much ideal, right? High life, minion damage if you used a skill recently. This is a very hard thing to craft, but it's really strong. And then I got lucky with an extra minion attack and cast speed if your minions have killed recently. That's insane. Then we have this one. I wanted life and blind, and I got extra minion attack, additional physical damage for the minions. Then we have this one. I wanted, wait, do this one first. Life and taunt. And then I hit also additional physical damage for minions and avoid poison. It's sick. And then we have this one. Life, physical damage is what I prioritized. Got extra attack speed and dex. It's okay. It's decent. I technically have 3-point jewel sockets I could take and spend some points and do that and put in some better jewel, like some more jewels. But yeah, and like this jewel could be replaced with life. Minions deal damage if you use a skill recently. It's actually better. It's more damage than the phys damage, and I'd like that better. But it's very hard to craft, very rare. I've been trying hard, and this was my skill tree. So I ended up specing all this. It's more hardcore viable with this area. Extra armor. So we were able to get to 10.8 thousand with this setup of full armor gear, armor skill tree. So we're pretty well rounded. And now I also have, so I've shown the skills, the gear. Here we go. Let's do Pantheons. I like to use Solaris. I started with Lunaris when I was mapping because 8% phys damage reduction when there's a ton of monsters around you was really nice. And this would only be good kind of for bossing until you have the extra points. The extra point that I like specifically is the erythrophagia. Take no extra damage from critical strikes if you have taken a crit strike recently. So there's a lot of bosses that the word that people like to use is shotgun, which is the concept of a shotgun for me compared to, let's say, a sniper. The sniper is a single bullet that one-shots you and does a shit ton of damage, right? And they're precise and accurate, and that's what you're going for. The shotgun is that close range, multiple pellets, AoE, you get hit multiple times. It's not one bullet, right? So that was like, yeah, that was my idea. So then, if this is where it comes in, if the attack is, let's say, 5 attacks and they're all crits, the first one crits you, the 4 other ones aren't going to crit you, so that this is actually the answer to shotgun. This is no crit against shotgun. I found that really useful, actually, the amount of things I've seen. So then you're actually, the thing that you're really scared of then is the one shot, the first hit that crits. That's the scary one, if the boss can one-shot you with a crit out of nowhere. But like Lunaris isn't going to protect you from that. None of these are going to protect you from that. And then we're already full elemental ailment immune, and we have really high stun recovery and stun avoidance. I'm not even full block yet anyways, so I don't need to be full stun immune, so it's fine. And we have really high life, so our stun duration is, we barely get stunned. It's really funny. But yeah, I like this. During a boss, we get the 6 phys damage reduction, the 8 LE damage taken if you haven't been hit, but the anti-shotgun crit, holy fuck, that's insane. And you don't need the last one if you have my setup for the 100% ailment immune, because you can't get ailments, so it doesn't matter about avoiding it from a crit. And then gruthkul, additional physical damage reduction for each hit, so more physical damage reduction, and then the attack speed. So you could also use abberath for burning ground immune. I haven't needed it because I'm not doing like blight and delving and shit where it's like really, really, really dangerous soft core things that, yeah. And then I could also use yugul for the reduced cold damage taken if you've been hit recently, or the reflect even. This can be super useful when I told you about those cold encounters. Heist, tunnels, repository, the monster that I'm scared of is cold. Uber Elder Shaper, cold. This might come in handy later. It's kind of cool. And those are the 3 I would switch between. Mostly gruthkul, abberath if you hate burning ground, and then yugul if you're going to do a really big cold thing. Oh yeah, I forgot. Shakari when I do hezmin fight, because I don't want to lose my hardcore to poison. That would be really silly. So I save myself from the duration of poisons and the stacking over 5, and I get reduced with 75. Like, I'm immune, basically. It's really good. Then he can only hit you for like physical, and I have really high armor. So, yep. Now the final thing, I have the POB as well. Oh, the final thing will be upgrades you can make. So I started it off with, this is the Valskelly with this melee splash in. It's 288. If you swap the melee splash to Ruthless, you can hit for 436. And then So that's like a huge DPS diff, right? And then you could also do zombies. And so the zombie 6-link is what I showed. No melee splash, no ruthless, and you put in multi-strike. So there's 6-link. And the zombie can do 310 with 8 of them. So that's pretty good. That's pretty cool. I like that. No awaken gems. We have some alt qual gems. It's pretty cool. And then like I said, I can show 100% impale, and if you lost some aura effect, there's your impale. So we're just over. We're just enough. It's crazy. It's really sick. How that impale pog. So I just wanted to show you it in POB, and then I wanted to show this part. So this is our defenses, and this is without Flasks. This is the build. Okay, I have to fix one button, so it's broken. What happens is in POB I have to disable bone barrier, re-enable it, disable bone armor, then disable immortal call, re-enable it. Okay, ready? Now we have the real numbers. So here's my normal pool with the extra ES, and then the immortal call worked on that. So 38,900, 39,000 to chaos, and then my elemental is 59,000, 56,000, and then our overall effective hit pool is not that high. That's really cool. Like with more block, these numbers will get really high really quickly. But we want to make sure that our maximum hit taken is also really high without Flasks. I've been trying to make sure so I don't get one shot. 38,000. So you have to take one thing into account though. What if you haven't have that? And, yeah. What if you haven't been hit recently and shit? 34,000, and that's without any. Yeah, that's pretty good, right? That is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the build. That's why I put it out there. Like I said, I showed the video already. I tanked Cyrus Awakener 7 triple beam in SSF hardcore with my summoner, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I hope this helped. Oh wait. Build upgrades. I forgot. But yeah, I hope this does help anyone who was trying to get into my build and it was complicated to go around and try to figure it out for yourself, and that hopefully this puts it all together into one so you can actually follow the build at where it is right now. Oh, 2 more things. Flasks. You use this enduring mana flask with the bleed immune, corrupted blood. It's for corrupted blood because I don't have a corrupted blood jewel in the build, and I have to swap in a corrupted blood jewel for Cyrus. I forgot to mention that part. That's pretty big. And we have roomies. I would like this to be max block 20 and then 10 spell block. Basalt with curse immune and reduced charges is best mod you can hit. Quartz flask with bleed immune. Corrupted blood. I put it on 2 to be safe. And I had extra mods. And then Quicksilver with curse immune. I also put this twice. Quicksilver stays up more often. There aren't that many mods I actually need on these flasks because I'm elemental ailment immune. I don't need freeze, I don't need shock, I don't need ignite. So there's only like bleeding, curse, and the other one was, oh god, I forgot. Oh, I could go like increased armor or something, but I don't. Like I said, look at my defenses without the flask. I don't want to rely on a flask in hardcore and bait myself, because imagine thinking I'm this tanky, then the flask comes down and I'm dead. True. So yeah, and that's without increased armor, dude. We could be tankier. What the hell? Oh wait. There we go. There we go. That's more like it, dude. That is more like it. Pog. Fucking big ass hit. Yeah. So we survived the one shot from a 15,000. It's fucking ridiculous, though. It's so ridiculous how much damage that is. Yeep. Okay, and then final thing. Build upgrades you could potentially make. +2 wand for +2 levels. Sounds really cool. I have the video on how to craft the +2. Basically, It's Convoking Wand, item level 55-60, but you would rather use a higher one like 84, and then so you'd have an 84 here, and then you would go into your fossils and you would use a 4-socket resonator with Shuddering, Metallic, Jagged, and Corroded, and then it says 12 tries for a 63% chance to get +2, and people do this on fractured wands. So very quick, in Harvest you could fracture a mod on an item to make it stay even when you craft it. So you could craft it and that mod stays, but then you can't add an influence to it. It can only be fractured or influence. It can't be both. So, or synthesis, but they're all separate. So fractured, we like to fracture the temple mod, minion double damage, but I don't have it yet. Well, I have one, but it's not a good base. I have a scepter with minion damage and minion double damage, and you could fracture this. It's the Sittiquatl from the temple, Alva's temple, and then you could craft a +2. What else? Like I said, you could craft an actual shield with recover life on block, maybe spell block, max all res, max cold res. You could get maybe like a +2 Ami, some sort of a awakener or dual influence Ami, minion damage on the glove, minion damage on the rings, an influence chestplate with increased effect of offering and maybe increased life, minion life, and maybe even minion damage to get the AoE. Like, you know how you get the stat that says minions deal at like 25% increased damage. There's technically, I forgot to show this. I technically have a Torrent's Reclamation with skill effect duration that literally has no cooldown almost for the Greater Harbinger of Time because it lasts so long. So I technically could be using a Torrent's Reclamation this whole time too. Another thing, I could swap to golems soon. So this build could maybe become carry-on golems. I just swap out some jewels to anima, 2 primordial harmonies, and a might. And how would it look? It's free aggressive. It's not that bad. Pretty strong. Don't have to summon skeletons. Doesn't seem that terrible to me. I already got most of the jewels. I also have 10 of the primordial. So I might get another might. And then I'd be able to just trade it in. But yeah, those are all the upgrades I would make to this. Another option, if you're softcore, final thing, you could go a 2-hander and go the zombie route and put your zombies in the weapon and make them like level 30 and have fun with that. But I don't really, I like the shield, tank, defense. People want the SSF hardcore build guide. So there you go. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I hope this helped that person who wanted to know how to play this and all the stuff and the ins and outs, and this hopefully explains it a lot better than like seeing the beginning up till I just like the last build guide was really good, but yeah, I'm glad I could put out another more up-to-date one again. It's gonna constantly keep happening, and I hope I make huge progress today, huge gains. We're gonna be probably pushing hard. Yeah, Orb of Unmaking coming today, easy clap. Either way, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to take this opportunity to thank my Patreon and my YouTube members who financially support the channel. I can't do this without you guys, so thank you guys for all the support. And thank you to anyone new who joins the Patreon and the YouTube members today. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!